See, for the past 1 year now, has not been really active in the sense of hitting government hard on some of the promises made, especially in the area of education and employment. Yes, because we felt that it was only fair to give a new government that has taken office, that has come into office, to give them at least 1 year to get settled and then to organize themselves. So for the past 1 year, we've only taken notice, and very soon, as we've come into 2018 now, we're going to take them on. And particularly in the area of education and job creation, MPP rode on the back of coming into power on the team agenda for change.
But change agenda for jobs.
Yeah, agenda for jobs. And clearly, in the 2017 budget, if you look at paragraph 887 on page 152 of the budget statement and economic policy of the government, they categorically stated the things we're going to put in place as a way of spurring job creation. And clearly, 1 year down the line, we have not seen any of such.
What are some of these things you saw, and what did you want to see by now?
Yes, for instance, they were very categorical in the budget that within the first 1 year, they were going to establish one district, one factory. And the essence of it was to create jobs at the rural cottage industries, to create cottage industries. And that was to prevent rural-urban migration and congestion in our cities, and also making judicious use of the local resources that we have at our disposal. They went ahead to talk of establishing a $1 million fund for each district assemblies. That we haven't seen. And the essence
for each constituency.
Yeah, for each constituency. And the essence we were made to believe was to enable the district assemblies take up economic activities that were key and relevant, and that would really be a bottom-up approach to development. That has not also happened. Let me again refer you.
Has it not happened totally? Because for 1 million one constituency, for instance, we know that stakeholder meetings were held across the country in 2017 to pick the views of people on what developmental projects they want to see happen.
Partly, yes, it is a process. So it started with that. But we have challenge with the initial statement and what is being said, what is being done now. What is being done now is that government is of the opinion to establish development authorities, which have been done, 3 of them. And these monies will be put in a pool. And that pool, there will be an administrative body that will ensure that these funds are disbursed. And clearly, you can see in the 2018 budget, the Ministry of Special Development Initiative alone, you saw how it came under attack with those huge sums. These are monies that will be used to procure vehicles, to set up, pay for rents for administrative. These are not the things that the people want. Who tells you that every constituency necessarily needs an ambulance? So give the money to the people. Let them design their own programs and know how best they can utilize them.
But Mr. Jabayente,
yes,
stakeholder meetings were held across the country last year. Based on that, a number of projects were proposed. So it wouldn't be presumptuous to say that the people do not want ambulances, for instance? The ambulances may not be the immediate needs of some districts. Some may need it urgently, some may not. So you can't make a blanket statement and provide it for, no, in development we don't do that. But after what the ministry did last year, we cannot say, for instance, which districts need ambulances and which districts do not need ambulances. They were tasked to find that information. Based on that, they are proposing provision of ambulances.
The districts have their medium-term and long-term development plans, so they know what they want at a time. And besides, if you look at paragraph 882 of the 2017 budget, again on job creation, they were very specific to say that the integrated aluminium bauxite industry was something that was going to be a major catalyst to job creation. For the whole year, nothing has not been done, except to hear or to see that a whole regime of the vice president and his team traveled to China to go and bring $15 billion, which we are yet to see come true. But what preparations have been put on the ground to let this materialize, we have no idea.
Now, on a number of these issues that you have raised, you yourself have mentioned that this government is 1 year old, and because of that, in the course of the years, it was increasingly difficult to hold them to book because they're very young governments. Isn't it now that we should be looking through to see what would happen in the coming year?
Yes, we as a committee, we have carried out all these promises and assurances being made by ministers and governments and vice president and whoever has the mandate to do so. We have carried out, we have a timeline program that very soon we'll be hauling them to. And let me make it clear to your listeners or viewers. The Government Assurance Committee, in fact, is like a policeman of the ministers, because it is supposed to monitor and then make sure that whatever, so it is both financial and governance. It looks at how the governance system, administratively, things are being done, and also how the judicious use of our resources are being made, expended over a period of time. Because if you say you want to construct a school structure in 2017 to cater for people's maybe between the ages of 6 and 8 who cannot walk to maybe distant communities like 10 kilometers away in the communities, and you don't do it, by the time you would have finished putting up the project, it would have outlived probably its usefulness at that particular instance and trying to create a job. So we are not just to monitor and to ensure that these things are done, but the timeliness of it is what also is very critical, and we are looking at that. So very soon we're going to come out, and it is when we meet, all the sittings will be made public. People will have the opportunity to ask questions. The general public will have the opportunity to also make input.
It's well and good. The point I'm driving at is that that's mere admission that you were unable to do it in the past year because the government was young. It shows that, yes, we must give this government some more time.
No.
If we want to see any real dividend or some of the promises.
No, the budgets are timeline bound. Whatever we voted for in 2017 is expended. So you don't have the luxury of time, or you don't have any other excuse for you to say that, hey, I'm still young. What was voted for you? You have to account for it. What did you use it for? So that question should not arise.
If that is the case, Mr. Japanyete, then your committee should also be held, because these are things that you should have held government on, you should have tracked government on. It's your job as a government assurances committee.
Yes, our mandate is a 4-year mandate. And the first year, we, in our first meeting in Volta region to do a workshop, we made it clear that we're going to use that period to curl out the promises, possibly visit or make follow-ups to look at stages of completion of all the various programs. Then we can invite those concerned to ask questions why you say you